Archaeopteryx, the feathered bridge between dinosaurs and birds. When you picture a dinosaur, you might imagine scaled beasts stomping through prehistoric forests. Conversely, when you envision early birds, you may see small creatures fluttering on delicate wings. But hidden within the limestone quarries of southern Germany lies a fossil that forever intertwines these two images: Archaeopteryx. Hailed as one of the most iconic transitional fossils ever discovered, this remarkable animal straddled the boundary between non-avian dinosaurs and the birds we know today. Its skeleton, almost reptilian in many respects, sprouted genuine flight feathers, offering an evolutionary snapshot of a pivotal moment in Earth's history. A chance discovery in Solnhofen limestone in the mid-19th century, workers in the Solnhofen quarries unearthed a series of spectacular fossils preserved in fine-grained limestone. Among these slabs, which had already yielded exquisitely detailed imprints of ancient fish, crustaceans, and pterosaurs, one find stood out: a small, bird-like creature sporting long wing feathers, but also displaying sharp claws on its forelimbs and a bony tail reminiscent of dinosaurs. When the famed biologist Thomas Henry Huxley examined these fossils, he recognized their significance as possible proof of evolution's ability to bridge reptile and bird. Soon, Archaeopteryx was vaulted into the scientific limelight, symbolizing the missing link Darwin's theory had predicted. Over time, more Archaeopteryx specimens emerged from those same limestone layers, each revealing fresh details, feather impressions, well-preserved skeletal structures, even hints at muscle attachments. Each fossil was a paleontological treasure, eagerly sought by museums and collectors worldwide. Through them, scientists glimpsed a 150-million-year-old lagoon environment of the late Jurassic, where shallow tropical seas and reefs dotted a marine archipelago, occasionally stranding or burying a land animal like Archaeopteryx in the fine sediment. A curious anatomy at a glance, Archaeopteryx truly looks like a hybrid. Its feathers, almost indistinguishable in structure from those of modern birds, strongly suggest an animal capable of at least limited flight or gliding. Yet its bones bear hallmarks of its dinosaurian heritage. For instance, it possesses a long, bony tail rather than the short pygostyle seen in modern birds. Instead of a toothless beak, Archaeopteryx had jaws lined with sharp teeth, ideal for seizing small prey such as insects or lizards. Moreover, claws adorned each wing's 3 fingers, a feature modern birds largely lost as their wings evolved into more specialized flight appendages. Notably, Archaeopteryx also had a furcula, or wishbone, similar to that of birds, which supports wing movement and flight muscles. This combination of dinosaur and bird traits embodies the concept of a mosaic form, where traits from an older lineage remain alongside emerging traits of a newer lineage. Studying this mosaic biology, scientists glean crucial insights into how feathers adapted from insulation and display, in small theropod dinosaurs, into tools for gliding or active flight. Could it truly fly? Debate has long raged about whether Archaeopteryx was a capable flyer or a mere glider. Its wings and feathers, including asymmetrical flight feathers, hint at aerodynamic capability. However, its sternum, breastbone, was relatively small, lacking the extensive keel on which modern flying birds anchor powerful flight muscles. This suggests Archaeopteryx might not have achieved sustained flapping flight, but perhaps used flutters or leaps to cross short gaps between trees, much like some modern birds that rely on bursts of wing beats to gain lift. Additionally, scans of the Archaeopteryx brain cavity reveal expansions where the visual and motor coordination centers reside, indicating it possessed better flight-related sensory processing than many non-avian dinosaurs. Whether it soared elegantly across lagoon waters or flitted clumsily among conifers, Archaeopteryx undeniably represents a pivotal step toward the advanced flight mechanisms perfected by later bird lineages. Feathers and the dinosaur-bird connection. Before Archaeopteryx was widely studied, birds seemed like a stark departure from reptiles. Feathers, warm-blooded metabolism, advanced lungs, these adaptations set them apart from the scaly, cold-blooded world of reptiles as previously understood. Archaeopteryx changed that narrative. Here was a creature with dinosaur-like teeth, claws, and a tail, yet crowned with real flight feathers. This revelation supported the hypothesis, championed by Huxley and others, that birds evolved from small, bipedal theropod dinosaurs. In the decades since, discoveries of feathered dinosaurs, like Microraptor and Velociraptor, have bolstered this link. Modern genetic analyses and morphological studies confirm that birds are essentially living theropod dinosaurs, carrying forward the traits of their Mesozoic forebears. Archaeopteryx stands as the earliest and most famous flag-bearer of this transition, a literal, bird dinosaur, bridging two worlds. A tale of evolutionary experiments. Archaeopteryx lived in the late Jurassic, roughly 150 million years ago, sharing coastlines with marine reptiles and pterosaurs overhead. The Solnhofen Lagoon environment, with its calm, oxygen-poor waters, provided near-perfect conditions for fossilizing fragile organisms. When an Archaeopteryx died, or was swept into the lagoon by a storm, its body settled into fine sediment, leaving behind feather imprints that remain among the most detailed in the fossil record. Yet Archaeopteryx didn't exist in isolation. It was one of many evolutionary experiments exploring flight. Around the same time, pterosaurs had independently refined powered flight, and certain small theropods might have been testing the boundaries of wing-assisted running or gliding. By the early Cretaceous, close relatives of Archaeopteryx gave way to more specialized avian forms, culminating in the explosion of bird diversity that soared across the skies before the mass extinction at the end of the Cretaceous. Archaeopteryx, then, was a brief cameo, an evolutionary stepping stone, yet the echoes of its wingbeats shaped the lineage that overcame that extinction and thrives in our modern skies. Lost and found tales of specimens. Fossils of Archaeopteryx remain exceedingly rare. Fewer than 24 specimens have been discovered, each with its own story. Some are nearly complete, others preserve only disarticulated bones and hints of feather impressions. One famous specimen was long part of a private collection and only recently came to scientific light. Another was nearly mislabeled as a pterodactylus until an eagle-eyed researcher noticed the telltale feathers in the rock. Because each new fossil can reveal subtle differences, like the shape of the wishbone or the spacing of the teeth, paleontologists debate whether multiple species of Archaeopteryx existed, or if they represent variation within a single species. This debate underscores how every nuance in fossil morphology can tweak our understanding of the dinosaur-to-bird transition. Little wonder that these fossils rank among the most coveted in paleontology, commanding attention in museum halls and academic journals alike. A feathered legacy. Archaeopteryx's importance transcends paleontology. In the broader tapestry of evolution, it highlights how major innovations, like flight, likely arise through incremental steps. The notion that feathers evolved initially for warmth or display, then later acquired aerodynamic roles, is a testament to nature's opportunistic design. Even the name, Archaeopteryx, meaning ancient wing, suggests an early attempt at flight, rather than the pinnacle. Modern birds have since perfected streamlined bones, more efficient respiratory systems, and advanced flight muscles, but Archaeopteryx stood as the herald of that aerial revolution. Moreover, Archaeopteryx bridges cultural awareness. It was discovered around the same time Darwin published his theories on evolution, playing a key role in validating those radical ideas. Newspapers seized upon the fossil as evidence of transitional forms, inflaming debates that rippled beyond geology and natural science into theology and public discourse. Centuries later, the silhouette of this feathery dinosaur remains iconic, often depicted as the quintessential example of a missing link. Walking with the first bird. If you could stroll alongside Archaeopteryx through a late Jurassic lagoon, you might see it perched on a low branch, wings half folded, feathers ruffling in the damp breeze. A flick of its tail might reveal a row of vertebrae under those delicate plumes. Startled by your presence, it might clamber awkwardly upward, hooking its wing claws onto bark, then launching into a fluttering glide across the lagoon's edge. With every wingbeat, it would embody both its dinosaur heritage and its avian destiny, a literal living mosaic. This image resonates because it challenges the rigid divides we often draw between major animal groups. Evolution doesn't leap from one perfect design to the next, but meanders, branching into transitional forms that test new traits. Archaeopteryx was neither fully bird, nor strictly dinosaur, yet it thrived in its environment and paved the way for the feats of flight that followed. Illuminating today's feathered world, that swirl of feathers, claws, and teeth might have vanished 150 million years ago, but its impact endures. Every time you catch the flash of color from a cardinal's wing or admire the effortless soaring of an eagle, you witness an echo of Archaeopteryx. The morphological leaps that fused reptilian jaws and avian feathers eventually shaped the enormous variety of birds we see in our backyards, wetlands, and coastlines. This lineage overcame mass extinction at the close of the Cretaceous, rediversifying into over 10,000 bird species alive today. In short, Archaeopteryx stands as a triumph of paleontology and evolutionary biology. Its story unravels how nature wove flying birds from carnivorous dinosaurs, how transitional fossils illuminate life's greatest leaps, and how a chance discovery in an ancient lagoon can shift our entire understanding of the living world. Even though only a few specimens have surfaced, their bones and feathers spark an enduring flame of curiosity, bridging past and present as we continue to unravel the secrets of Earth's grand evolutionary dance. Subscribe to Plant Animal Wonders for more wild tales and untamed discoveries.